This is Joe. And before we get into this week's episode, I want to let everybody know that our hearts and thoughts are with those that were affected by the nightclub shooting in Orlando last week. It was a tragic, tragic thing. We found out about it just after we released our podcast. It's crazy that we live in a society now where one person can come along and ruin the night for so many people and ruin so many people's lives in an instant. Hopefully, some changes can come about because of this incident.
Welcome to I'd Print That. I'm Andrew.
I'm Joe.
And it was a busy week, not so much busy in 3D printing world for me. I know you did stuff.
I did a couple little things.
Busy work week.
Yeah, work week was definitely real busy, but printery-wise, since our last recording, I've been having some layer shifting issues. I've been working with G-Tech. I've got to disassemble my machine. There are 4 bearings on the Y-axis that I got to take off and see what's going on. It's not a constant problem. It's just hanging up occasionally. So I need to check and see, verify those bearings are okay. And with any luck, I'll figure out which ones they are, and I will be able to get hold of G-Tech. They have pretty much told me any part that I need, they will send it to me.
Nice.
So I didn't realize this until after I sent an email to them saying, hey, here are the prints, and I went ahead and sent them the G-code and the STL files so they can check it. And the printers that we got are actually some of the first ones that they had manufactured.
Yeah.
They're like Rev 1.
Not 1.0. 1.
Yeah. So they're definitely interested in all the feedback that we can get because they'll use that to make these machines better and more reliable. And as they are right now, I think they're really great machines. I did my Amazon review here for them, and they saw it, they liked it, thought it was very professional, and so maybe in the future when they release new machines, they'll reach out to us again and let us check out those printers.
Yeah, I got to finish mine up. I'm going to do a couple, they're on Thingiverse. It's your whole build plate, and it's just a torture test. I'm going to print that one, because it does stairs, it does inverted stairs, gaps.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. It's like a calibration test. They got a little ruler on it and other little things. Yeah.
So I'm going to print one of those, and then I'm going to do a few different filaments of the Benchy, 3D Benchy. And what I'm going to do is when I put up, because it is going to be an Amazon review, so you can include pictures.
Right. I got 4 pictures and a video on mine.
Nice.
I put the little planetary gear.
Oh, the moving?
Yeah,
nice.
moving. That we did.
Very cool. Actually, that's what I was pulling up Amazon. I was going to check out your review. So I'm going to do those so I can have those as, here's a testament to this printer and what it's capable of.
Right.
And I've reviewed a few things on Amazon. Like a lot of people before, generally you don't review something until you're annoyed at it.
Right.
And you get like, hey, this thing sucked. And I've really turned my thinking on that. And I've gone back through a lot of my Amazon purchases and reviewed the items. And
yeah, and that's what I generally do is I like giving honest reviews of things, not, oh, this thing pissed me off, I'm going to go harp on it and lambaste the seller and manufacturer because of the thing.
Yeah, because most of my purchases are based on people's reviews.
Oh, yeah.
I look for key things, like it lasted X amount of time, it did this for this time, here's how I fixed it, or just stupid little nuances that, things that I'll look for in something I buy, looking for fail points, and just to see if it's confirmed or denied. So and that information really helps me buy something and so I might as well help other people buy things.
When I look at reviews, I generally I'll start with the 1 stars because you can root out which ones are
Just people being stupid,
Right.
not using it correctly.
right, just just those guys being mouthpieces. And so you root through those. Okay, you look at the 2-star reviews and you kind of can root through those. Generally, it's the 3, 4, and 5 stars that you can really see where the get right down to the minutia, the details of it all.
Yeah.
And I know Becky does this. She will spend hours reading reviews and researching a thing.
Oh, so do I. Well, it depends. If it's something I'm just buying because I want it, or just a knick-knack kind of thing, I'll read a few reviews just to make sure it'll last a little bit of time. But if it's something big like a printer, definitely take the time to read the reviews, because these are people that have had it, used it, and like Joe said, do take some time to weed out the crappy ones and don't let those sway you, because there'll be guys that like, I printed this printer for 300 hours and I had to level the bed. This thing's a piece of crap. No, that's...
Bed leveling's part of the thing. You're going to tinker with your printer. You got to figure that into this. The thing about my review is I've used that printer for darn near a month solid. I have printed many things. I've put this thing through paces. It has done more than my Prusa has out of the box. Granted, I had to assemble my Prusa, but I've been very impressed with this little machine. Even the little M3D we got, it was slow, very proprietary, and there's just some things that it couldn't do. Whereas this machine does all of those things. I've printed in ABS, PLA, algae, flexible materials, and with the M3D, it was PLA only. And that was it. You couldn't do flex. You couldn't do a lot of the other exotic materials. None of the metal fills. Granted, I got one to print, but I think that did more damage than good because they're abrasive and thin nozzles don't like them.
No, not even a little bit.
No, not even a little bit. So that's probably I'll sit down after we're done, go through, re-listen to the podcast, see if there's any little changes that need to be made. Generally, I haven't been spending a whole lot of time on them. They come out pretty good anymore. We know what we're doing.
Our thing.
We know what we're doing. We've got it down. But once I'm done, I want to tear that printer apart and get those bearings checked out. I do not know if I'm going to replace that broken carriage on the right. It still works. It still holds, and I'm very leery of doing that because I don't want to unsquare it. So
yeah, definitely. And like once you open that box, like the DaVinci that's modified, once you open that,
it's a Pandora's box at that point.
Oh man, there's so many little things that, I mean, granted, a lot of printers, their quality control can be lacking on these cheaper printers.
Right.
But there's been an army of engineers taking care of making this thing work for that application, and you change that, and it's like, ugh. So you have a print fail, and it's not like, oh, well, they did this wrong. Well, crap, what did they do? Then what did I do on top of that?
Right. You see that, sorry, is there anything else that you need to cover?
3D printing wise, I didn't print much. For like 4 days, I kept forgetting to go buy painter's tape.
Blue tape.
Because I pulled the big chunk of tape that they give you out of the box off because I was having some adhesion issues, and I was just curious if that was my issue. And then, I mean, between karate and my wife doing things and it being summer, and I would just forget on the way home from work. Right. And also, it was a super long work week for both of us. I had 2 nights this week that I had to stay late and do splicing. But I got a lot done this week, so next week should be a little bit of a lull for me, so I should have more time.
Yeah, next week's going to start off basically how this week ended. Going right back into it.
Right.
Yeah, 2 tower climbs at the end of last week and 1 at the beginning of the week, and we'll see how it goes from there.
I got 4 fiber connections turned up in 1 week, and now I'm like, you guys can just wait for a minute.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of construction to go next week, so should be fairly easy going, and I should be able to get some more time to actually get some prints in.
So, talking about printery things and engineers building printers, Joseph Perusa, or Joseph Perusa, or I think it's Joseph.
Yeah, I think it is.
He's the guy who came up with the idea for the Prusa i3. He has a Mark II version that he's been showing off at people, and kind of showing that and looking at where the community's heading. It appears that it's got a new heat bed. I think he calls it the Mark 42. Thank you, Iron Man reference. But it shows a flare image, and rather than being very hot in the middle, it's very evenly distributed.
I did see that image.
Talking about
Twitter,
auto bed leveling on it, and some other things. So it's kind of an interesting thing. I'm as an i3 owner, I'm very curious to see what the plans are for this. If he's gonna post these up on the RepRap site also, and who knows, I might start printing new pieces for a printer.
So now, is he going to release it to where you can upgrade an i3 to the Mark II, or?
I don't know. Unfortunately, Saturdays is normally my time to read my articles that I find, and after yesterday's tower extravaganza, and standing all day and moving around, by the time that I got home, I was in great amounts of pain, and after a late night of gaming, via playing Overwatch, I slept in. I was very tired. My body was sore, and I didn't get up until just about 8 o'clock. So, I did read a little bit of the article. I'm not sure if it's going to be an upgrade kit or not. It looks the same, so maybe. You have to go to the website, read the article, and find out.
Neat. So. I can't even find that printer on Amazon.
And just go to your Amazon purchases.
Oh, hey. My brain's not working yet.
Becky did the same thing. I told her that. She goes, "Oh yeah, I can do that too." So we're talking about new printers and new engineering things. You see that there's this guy made this 3D printed CNC machine for doing farming things.
Farming things? I did not see that.
Yeah, it's called FarmBot, and you actually see FarmBot Genesis, and it is made from 3D printable plastic components and can be used to remotely water plants, plant them, and monitor your garden. It has a scalable iteration of the concept and can be built for anywhere from $1,500 to $4,000. It is powered by a Raspberry 3, an Arduino Mega 2560, and a RAMPS 1.4 Shield. It can do seed injection, watering, weed suppression, and all made quite simple with dedicated attachments. And while it is open source and allows gardeners to create whatever extra tools that they need and hopefully post them, sharing it with their community. As I said, that is entirely open source, and all the project documentation and files can be found on GitHub. Okay. And you'll also be able to buy a FarmBot kit, which contains everything you need to get started: the electronic components, 3D printed parts, aluminum plates, and more. And those will be available for pre-order in July.
Nice.
And some guy out of California just decided, hey, I'm going to do this thing. And yeah, it's you take your planting bed and you just have your 2 rails that go along the side of it, and then it has this head that moves along and just plants things and waters things, and Can be controlled via your smartphone. You can set schedules on it, or you can just manually control it.
That's pretty neat. I mean,
Yeah.
on a small scale, you can have a little herb garden and
Yeah.
fully automated. Like they came out with those, what they call them, Aero Gardens a while back. They're little hydroponic systems.
Yeah.
The little desktop, you can have a little herb garden, and they're pretty neat. They're kind of spendy, which this will be that as well. And but
$1,400. I mean, yeah, it's a little on the expensive side, but when you think about it, if let's say you decide to go on vacation, you say, "Hey, I'm heading to Disney World or Disneyland or wherever Disney you're going."
just don't get close to the water.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The crocodile from,
And just a
from
little
Peter Pan is getting a little anxious.
A little caveat, very heartfelt apologies to that family.
Yeah,
I
dude,
couldn't imagine.
that's-
I have small children, and I was at Disney World not a year before this happened. Mm-hmm. And there's these pools of water everywhere, and they're not fenced off. There's nothing that says there's gators. It does say no swimming, but I honestly could not imagine going on vacation and not coming home with your child. It really hit me because I have little kids. My youngest is 2.
And you don't necessarily think about, you think, oh no, Australia, it's got all the things that'll eat you and kill you and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But there's all
things
kinds
here.
of things here that'll do that also. We have snakes and spiders ourselves. We have bears. We have giant cats in the Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
We have giant dogs. It just big lizards, all kinds of things. It's really, it is. Yeah, I saw that. I was just like, oh man, that is. I can't imagine that. That's horrible.
It is. It really is. But yeah, I mean, just like when I was at Disney World with my 2 kids, it was, I mean, it's chaos. It's complete chaos. You're trying to keep your kids in line. You're trying to go look at things, go on rides, waiting in
Right.
line. And the last thing on your mind is, my kid's over there, but he's content.
Right.
She's happy. She's doing a thing that makes her happy. Let her do it. She's not screaming. She's not crying.
Right.
And then that would happen. I mean, it's just, it really, but my wife came and talked to me about it the other day, and she was like, it really had me very upset at work, because, and us too, I mean, or me too, I mean, but I couldn't imagine, and huge apologies out to that family, and it's horrible thing that happened, unfortunately, and this has probably ruined Disney for them forever.
Oh, ever. Yeah. I don't think there's any recovery from this.
Yeah, so very sorry that happened to you. But yeah, that's a little caveat that I didn't plan on even talking about. But
Yeah.
I wanted to say that because I made the joke of don't go near the water, and I don't want it to people to think I'm a heartless jerk that doesn't.
We
care.
saw the news. We know that was out there.
Yeah, but anyway,
So, how much have you been paying attention to our SoundCloud?
I haven't logged on and looked at the stats. Usually I look every episode to look at stats, but I haven't this week because I was busy
It was
running around.
night before last. It wasn't last night. Night before last. Becky's like, so have you checked how many listens you've had out there? I'm like, no, not really. I'm kind of lacking on that. I've been busy with work things and haven't really sat down to do any of the maintenance-y stuff, check analytics, other things like that. She goes, you've got some episodes out there that have over 50 listens now.
Neat.
I'm like, really? So, hello, new people.
Hi.
Thank you for listening. Hopefully you enjoy it.
And while that might not sound like a lot, like for us, 2 guys from Idaho, and people are actually listening to what our brainchild and what we wanted to do and make work.
Yeah,
It's really cool for us.
yeah, we like it, and we thank you all.
Yeah.
So let's step back for some newsy things we've talked in the past about. It seems like every few episodes we speak about medical things,
Oh, yeah. 3D printing has a huge role in the medical field.
especially in China.
Yes.
They're doing a lot of stuff over there. So, the Peking University Third Hospital in Beijing, China, has been building up a reputation for groundbreaking medical procedures involving 3D implants. It was only 2 years ago that they became the first hospital in the world to implant a 3D printed vertebrae, and now have done even more a remarkable feat. What they have done is they have taken and removed 5 sections of a patient's spine, all affected by malignant spine tumors, and replaced them with 3D implants.
Wow.
The parts that they removed were thoracic sections 10, 11, and 12, and lumbar sections 1 and 2. So it's one big chunk of spine.
And T10 is like the worst vertebrae to break or injure.
Yep, this is 10, 11, and T10, 11, and 12, and L1 and L2.
Wow.
And it totals 19 centimeters, and they went and replaced that whole 5 vertebrae block with a 3D printed spinal implant.
Nice.
The images are kind of interesting. It's
Oh, I
like
bet.
the spinal cord is just, it floats. It's not even, it looks like from the pictures, it's not even fully encased around the spine. It's just basically a half moon that fits in where it was, and then the spine is just free air.
Wow.
And the spine and nerves. Yeah, really, really interesting. They got pictures and all kinds of stuff up on the net. They're not graphic. They don't actually show the surgery.
Yeah.
But they show the 3D models and all that other stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. There's a few other things, like I said, I didn't get a chance to read much this morning, but there's some really good news articles out there. One about 3D printing in silicone and able to choose the different hardness.
Ooh.
You can actually choose the hardness of it.
Is that temp controlled by the hardness?
Again, unfortunately I haven't had a chance to get a chance to read it, but so these other things I'll post on my blog, and you can go check it out. I had like 30 news articles to go through, and I managed to get through like 3.
This is a busy week, man. I was run ragged all week long, and yesterday, like, I was walking around with a coffee cup, and I was doing on my way to my last fiber turn up, and everybody's like, "You okay?" No. Don't talk to me.
It's been a week. It's been 3 weeks in a week.
So, yeah.
And if any listeners have, you see that we missed a news article, or there's something cool that you've seen you thought that we might be interested in,
Yeah,
please feel free to post. We had a listener, I think we talked about it last week, Bobby Wilhite was a gentleman's name. He was listening to one of our episodes about the 3D milk scanner. Mm-hmm. And he went ahead and dug up the first article that was written about this. It was like in 2007. And it was using some Legos, milk, a box to put the model in. Mm-hmm. And it's basically where the milk scanner came from. Mm-hmm. And they were doing it for models for use in the Unreal Engine.
Oh, wow.
It was a gaming-related thing. So I've been meaning to bring this up in some episodes. I know I wrote about it, but I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah, it is.
As a big gamer,
Yeah.
I've been gaming since actually
When gaming started.
pretty much. First console was an Atari, so if that gives you any idea. And then, yeah, I remember when the NES came out, and my friend up the block got one, and he was the popular kid for a little while until I wound up getting one. I could stay at home, and yeah, it just
Mario your heart out.
Castlevania was loved playing Castlevania. That was a good one. And then Ninja Gaiden, and
I think they're gonna remake Castlevania.
they've tried a couple of times.
I think there's a more recent one they're gonna try to remake it. I think I saw an ad on it on Flipboard.
So speaking of gaming things, E3 was this last week.
Yeah,
Started
and
on Tuesday.
I've been trying to not watch anything. There's a few companies out there that do really good recaps.
Have you seen Nintendo's new thing?
No. That's what I said. I haven't been watching anything.
Oh, you haven't seen the new Zelda game?
No. I like to watch it all at once. I like. There's a few YouTubers out there and a few companies out there that I follow on social media. And
The Dead by Daylight guys were going to be there, and I picked up Dead by Daylight, bought it, and the game is tough, especially when you get into games where there's people who played all through the beta and know the killers really well. It is very rough.
Through the beta, didn't they? Oh, they released all 3.
Yep. Yeah, at the end they had all 3. They had, I think they started with the Wraith, then they brought in the Hunter, and then they added Hillbilly right at the end. And I was against, it was in a map where they had some very experienced killers. They were the Wraith, and they knew what the heck that they were doing. He picked this off quickly. I'm waiting for him to add the game with friends. Right now, you can only play in a private match with your friends. You can't actually go to a public lobby.
Oh, really? So there's no public matchmaking for a group?
For your group, but that is on their list. They're developing it now. It will be added. But I don't think that's going to matter because, with the kill your friends option, you just invite your friends and you have a party. So Travis is looking at picking that up, Travis being a friend of ours. Mm-hmm. I was talking to him yesterday. Yeah, yesterday while I was waiting around. And he goes, I'm going to have to pick this game up. I'm like, dude, you're the one that showed me this game.
Yeah.
He goes, well, I was watching some YouTube videos, and he goes, the thing that sold me was the whole, as the killer gets closer, the heartbeat, and then the music gets louder, and you get this horror music. He goes, that sold me right there. I'm like, dude, you'd be surprised what kind of emotional response it sets off within your body, because you start getting very paranoid. Like, he's around here somewhere. Oh my God. And you're looking around and trying to do this thing. And the last match I played, I think it was like on Tuesday. It was, I've been playing the Survivor. I like playing the Survivor right now. Just kind of get my feet wet, get a feel for things. And trying to develop some strategies without doing a whole bunch of online research. But, I'm trying to remember where I was going with this.
Derp.
Yeah, my brain just went, hey, I'm just going to stop right now. But yeah, just trying to develop some strategies as a survivor and get a whole feel for the game, see how other people play. Because I also think that type of research will help when I decide to play the killer, because I kind of get an idea of how other people react to things.
Yeah.
There was one, it was kind of funny. It was right at the beginning of the match. Me and this one other person, we went down into the house. We went into the basement, and there was a chest down there, and wound up looting the chest. And the killer wound up getting somebody nearby, and then we could hear him coming closer. So there are these closets in the basement. So she hid in one, I hid in the other. And the killer came down as a hunter, put the player on the meat hook. We waited for him to leave, and we came back out and freed the person and
Run!
Yeah. It was kind of funny. There was we were in a lobby, and I chose the character who wears a tie. He's got a tie on, and one of the other players was like, "Hey, nice tie." I'm like, "Oh, really? Thanks. My mom got it for me." And she's like, "You look like you're the Geek Squad." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to find my next service call. Apple Maps really did me in this time." Yeah, so just kind of joking around. It's kind of fun. But yeah, I want to be able to bring friends in, because you can get on voice chat and coordinate things, because that's the one thing is you and the other players don't really have a way to talk to one another.
Yeah.
So you can't coordinate because you know these four people, when they get close to one another, they would actually be able to have conversations. And I think one thing that would be really cool with the game is if they had a VoIP system integrated, but it had a proximity to it. Okay. So when you get close to somebody, you can actually talk to them.
They did that in Minecraft for Survival of the Fittest.
And then, as the farther away you got, the harder it would be to hear. You could hear, like,
they get fainter.
Right. You could hear some things. So, it wasn't like you would talk and then the entire map would hear it. You'd have to be close to hear it. Yeah. I think that'd be kind of a cool add-on because...
I think Mumble does that. I think you can... it has a plug-in for games to do it. Because I think that's who... Because this was... Okay, so if anybody's ever watched any Minecraft Survival of the Fittest, it's like you play on hardcore so you don't restore hearts and stuff.
Right.
But the guys from Minecraft,
okay,
they're a big group of YouTubers that do community Minecraft. And I think it was Mumble they used because... So there was no teams. It was all versus all.
Right.
But you could team up. So you'd be mining. And the cool thing was, so Minecraft, obviously, if you've ever played, you mine, and you dig down, and you're doing your thing, and all of a sudden you can hear someone talking. Now, they could be above you, and you don't know that.
Right. It's just somewhere near you.
Yeah.
You hear talking.
So that was cool, and I want to say it was Mumble. We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I have to look into it. I know there's a new version out. It's just a minor update, so I may wind up updating our server. In addition to other E3 type news, I know that you haven't seen anything, but Microsoft announced the Xbox One S.
Oh, I did see that. The smaller...
40% smaller, does not have a huge power brick.
It's integrated, isn't it? Now?
I think so. So it'll actually be slightly smaller than the PS4. Mm-hmm. It has extra horsepower built into it. It's not necessarily to improve game performance. Mm-hmm. It's so developers can add HDR for their games.
Okay.
So improved color resolution, things like that. And it'll actually have be capable of 4K. So it will be able to do 4K Ultra HD.
We knew that was coming because PS4 already had announced.
PS4, there was rumors running around about that.
Yeah.
Haven't seen anything announced for the PS4 on it.
I did read something that PlayStation was playing very close to the chest at E3. Right. They weren't giving a lot away.
They're not. And one other thing that it's going to be doing is 4K upscaling.
Okay.
So, kind of an interesting choice. I think the new versions will have a 2 terabyte hard drive. Right now, you can get 1 terabyte. Used to come with 500 gig, which I filled up immediately and got a 4 terabyte external drive that I've been putting everything on, and I mean everything on.
So I wonder, because I know one of the big fixes right now is to get an SSD and either install it in place of the drive or an external SSD.
External is what a lot of people normally do, just for load times. Even a regular external drive will increase your load times
because it'll cache into the drive.
I don't know exactly what it is. I think it's because there's not a lot of overhead on that drive, and the internal drive I think is a slower RPM drive. I think it's like a 5400 RPM. So. Interesting.
Yeah, I just pulled up an article on Flipboard. So I'm a big fan of Portal.
Oh, yeah.
The Portal and Portal 2 are fun games. The cake is also a lie. Don't jump down there.
Yeah.
There's no cake. Portal, No Escape, a live-action short film based on the video game Portal. That'll be cool. I mean...
Yeah, I'll probably wind up going and Googling that and checking it out. It's probably on YouTube or Vimeo.
Just the, I mean, it's so easy to find things that aren't a thing. Like, I got all excited the other day at work because I saw that somebody had made up the movie poster for Beetlejuice 2.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool.
Unfortunately,
it's not
just a poster.
But looks like there's multiple YouTube videos, so it might actually be a real thing.
I haven't really seen anything to confirm that. If it ever gets to be a thing, though,
That'll be awesome.
You bet your butt I'm going to be there.
I mean, just the little, it's just the still from one of the YouTube videos looks awesome.
Yeah.
It's like they did. The portal gun looks weird.
They probably couldn't do the actual portal gun for copyright reasons.
Yeah, because it is a short film, not a...
Yeah.
But I'm happy that games are finally becoming... I mean, not saying that we talked about it in the last
Right.
episode, but like the Warcraft movie, it's getting a lot of hate, but then it's also getting a lot of love. I mean...
Right. It's just going to depend on who you talk to. Some people... want to complain because it's an all CGI movie or mostly CGI movie, but these are the same people who, loved Avatar or who were big fans of the Phantom Menace. People, these movies are mostly CGI. If you watch any of the Marvel movies, there is a metric ton of CGI in these films.
And there's nothing wrong with it. It's not like it's freaking real life. We can't make these things happen
It's
naturally.
not like you're going to just go and cast some big green guy to be an orc.
Yeah, there's aren't around. There's only one Lou Ferrigno.
Exactly.
He's getting old.
Yes, he is. The only other thing I saw out of E3 is that Bethesda has two upcoming games that are coming out. I didn't see if they named what they were, but supposedly they're supposed to be bigger than Fallout 4 and Elder Scrolls. Mm-hmm. They're supposed to be absolutely massive games. Hopefully, it is not as grindy as Fallout 4. Mm-hmm. I still have yet to finish it. Hopefully, I will finish it. It's just I've taken a step back. I really need to just chill out on that one. I'm getting frustrated with the grindiness of it.
Hence the reason I never started it.
And it's not... I like completing quests and stuff, but to me, it just needs to end. Hey, I'm done. I don't have anything else for you. Go find somebody else. Leave me alone, kid. Mm-hmm. Leave me alone, boy. You're bothering me.
Get out of here, kid. You're bothering me.
And that's not the case with Fallout 4. They just went, oh, hey, we can just have you repeat quests now, and you don't... you get lonely of Preston. Preston's not getting lonely of you.
He don't care about you no more.
No. So, but that's what I have as far as gaming and other things goes. It was, like I said, played some Dead by Daylight, played in the beta a little bit, wound up getting the game while it's on sale. Right now, I think it's still 10% off on Steam, so anybody interested can pick it up for $17.99. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you're looking at $20 normally.
Been playing the crap out of Overwatch, though. I have.
Overwatch, yep. Yeah, and we've given our gamer tags out before. I am OMG Gnomes, that's 2 Gs. Pound 1175.
Mm-hmm. And I'm Frosty 1795. Come play. I mean, yeah. I'm 46. A couple of the guys we play with are in the 80s already.
I see, and that's the thing is, I won my copy. I got a copy the day it came out, and I didn't play for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of things, if anybody's been following my Twitter feed, I got the Overwatch Razer Kraken Pro headset. And I have an idea about what I'm going to do with those. But you're going to have to wait till next week to find out about that.
Oh, cliffhanger.
Oh, cliffhanger. What shall it be? Whatever. What's he going to do? So, come back next week, and you'll find out.
Yeah, I think that'll do it for us this week.
Yeah, and the obligatory, if you like what we do, give us a like, follow on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud,
iTunes.
Yep. Well,
G+.
iTunes really doesn't have likes.
You can follow us though, so you get notified of the new episodes.
Yeah, you can do that. But biggest thing, go to our Facebook page, give us a follow there. That
Come
way,
see us.
when we decide to start doing things like contests or other things, which I've been really kicking around, I'm going to reach out to some people and see if we can start cultivating additional relationships. We'll use Twitter for that.
Mm-hmm. I like
So-
Twitter. Twitter's become my preferred.
And there's things that you can do. There's randomizers, so you can pick a random follower that you have, and
Here you
hey,
go.
look, there you go. That's how At Midnight does it. That's how a lot of places do it. So definitely go out there, give us a follow. If you have anybody that you know who is interested in 3D printing or just likes listen to people, like listen to two guys sit around on a Saturday and yak at one another about 3D printery, gaming, techie things, tell them about it. They may find it interesting.
They would.
And if you want to do more than just follow us, go out to Patreon and subscribe there. $1 a month, $12 a year. If you want to print the month, which I think we're going to announce here on the the first Saturday of July, which I think that's the 4th.
Yeah, it would be.
So, yeah.
The 4th is on a Monday.
You think the 4th is on Monday?
Pretty sure, because we have that day off. Yay!
Okay. Nope, it would be the 2nd of July. That's right. So, on the 2nd of July, we're going to announce what the print of the month is, and we'll have a picture of that up on our page. Anybody who subscribes during the month of July, or even now, will get a copy of the print of the month.
And we'll have a cutoff day for usage. That's and if you follow any like the loot boxes type of people, monthly subscribe box, we'll have a cutoff day on that month. Not saying you won't get the next month's, but if you do the day after the day we say here's your cutoff date, just for us, so we're not trying to scramble and print and package and move things out.
We got to know how many we need to print out, and we need to be able to make sure that we have time for that.
Yep. So yeah, we're not trying to come across as rude or anything, but if you're past the date, you won't get that month's.
Yeah. But that's generally the way that these things happen.
Yep.
Yeah, but that pretty much takes care of it for this week.
It does. I'm Andrew.
I'm Joe, and remember, if you can imagine it, you can print it.